Hello, beautiful community. The orange monster child in the White House has called the tyrant in the Kremlin. They've had a now conversation, which the Kremlin has said was constructive. And after the call, Trump said that his war in Iran is very complete, pretty much, and that he is far ahead of schedule in his war. So, what's the state of the world? That's the background against which this call takes place. Let's make a few brief remarks. When he's on the phone to Trump, Putin is a bit nervous, but largely happy. He's nervous because he doesn't like this trend, of which he himself is a practitioner, being used too frequently by others, the trend of taking out the leaders of countries. Now, he doesn't think Trump would ever want to take him out, but he thinks that some future US leader could, especially if the United States is no longer a democracy. And he's just generally allergic about that, and we've spoken about this widely. So I won't repeat myself. But he's happy because Trump is stuck. US soft power is plummeting down. US foes are benefiting, and US allies are experiencing that the US is both unreliable and potentially even a threat to their national security. That's a lot of what some of the Gulf states feel now. So Putin is happy, and Putin probably thinks that in the medium term this is bad for Ukraine, and he's probably right about that. What he probably is aware of is that in the short term it might benefit Zelensky, it might free Zelensky up a bit, because Zelensky is, among other full-time jobs he has, is playing badminton, batting Trump away all the time. He's receiving a diktat to settle the war on Russian terms every 45 minutes. Suddenly that's not happening, and Zelensky has some breathing space to get on with things, and he's also deploying a few Ukrainian cards that they have cultivated by practicing war, above all around drone technology, which is not a big gambit, but it's a little gambit toward Ukraine's global strategic indispensability. Trump on the call, I think, is now 60% drunk on the theatrics of war, but it was 70-80 a few days ago, and it's going to be 40-50 in a couple of days. Because as drunk as he is on the theatrics of war, he's also stuck in a war in which Iran is trying to outlast him, for which Iran was more prepared than the United States was at the level of scenario planning, at least. Price of oil is going through the roof. Mojtaba, the son of the Ayatollah, is installed, which is the Iranian regime saying, we're trying to outlast you. Now, it's not clear how long this 56-year-old man will last in power, because the Israelis will want to take him out as soon as possible. But this is the Iranians saying, we'll outlast you, and Trump doesn't have an exit strategy. And Trump has serious problems with the sustenance of this operation and the way that it'll reflect politically and economically at home. And he doesn't know what to do, and he can't be reached by anybody. Middle Eastern leaders who might call Trump can't be fully frank with him. People around him can hardly be fully frank with him, and themselves hardly understand what's going on, because it's largely a bunch of clowns. US state capacity to understand the world around them, around the US, is radically depleted by the actions of the Trump administration. But there are still people in the American government who have considerable expertise, who are still left there, but they don't have access to the inner circle, which is a sort of a submarine of clownish recklessness, with some of them drunk on sort of soft fascist language about the exercise of power and violence. So Trump's just taking it a day at a time, and he has no clue how to get out of this. And every day this goes on, the people we don't like, the people who constitute a threat to us, benefit. And every day, unpredictable consequences build up that are not likely to stack in the West's favor or not likely to stack in the United States' favor. So that's where we are. Putin pleased and a bit nervous. Trump drunk, but sobering up without a clue about what to do next. I hope to integrate many of the points that really matter health allowing in a main channel video in the next couple of days. Beautiful community. So see you here or on the main channel soon. Lots of love.